Hello, welcome. I'm Nick
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jackson.
from Top Notch Sports, and today we're going to be going over the NFL free agency recap during this live stream. Welcome as you guys tune in. I'm going to be editing up a few things, so just stay tuned. Jackson, pull up the comment section. Mike, pull up the comment section.
Yep.
Lower down the volume all the way on your phones. See what they say. I'm going to edit a few things up before we start this stream, and we'll just hop right underway. What, Mike?
You go ahead, Nick. You do what you got to do. First, I'd like to, unfortunately, let everybody know that Noah the Pool Q Thompson will not be able to make it tonight. He's busy, and I always got to shout him out because he's the guy that makes these videos possible.
Really? Yes. No, he does. Absolutely. I mean,
without Noah, what would we be? Would we even be a YouTube channel? That's the question we got to ask.
We wouldn't be anything. And he's this YouTube channel, and now he's Top Notch Gaming. He's everywhere.
Yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to Top Notch Gaming, you guys are more than welcome to do that. It's really weird logo. We'll have to put the link in there one day. Give me 1 second. I'm going to still edit up a few things. Welcome if you guys tuning in now. Just stay in the live chat. Ask just a few questions. We'll be right there.
Stay in the live chat. Go ahead, and if you're here right now, if you're listening, subscribe to Top Notch Gaming. Give Noah the PVC Pipe Thompson some love over there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll let you guys roll in here. We'll start going over some things, drop some comments in the live chat, and we'll get right into it once we set up Nick's gonna set up the thumbnail, these tags, and we should be good to go here.
Ask questions. Ask questions in the comments.
That's the key, folks. Without you guys engaging, it's gonna be very boring. So we need you guys to start commenting now. We got 3 of you guys tuning in now. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new here.
There are no stupid questions.
Mike, I don't know about all that, Mike. There are pretty dumb questions.
Darius Howell, what's going on, buddy? How's it going?
See, the smart people ask questions. The dumb people don't ask questions.
There we go. Look at that. Darius in the chat. Welcome. He looks like he's a Saints fan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, if you got any questions about the Saints, go ahead. Start asking. We'll help you right away. We just got to edit a few things right here. I think we're actually good to go. All right, let me hop back on here, and we will start this stream. So welcome, everybody. If you're just tuning out, be sure to leave a like, subscribe as usual. We are Top Notch Sports. If you haven't already watched me and Jackson's quarterback analysis video, go ahead and watch it. Mike will be coming out with his very soon, hopefully in the coming days. And I can tell you this, I am very close to being done with my my running backs, as I am getting pretty far into it. I just got done watching a few guys today. I finished with Chuba Hubbard after watching Michael Carter as well. So I got Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, Kenneth Gainwell, Michael Carter, and Chuba Hubbard done. I got 4 left on my list. I'm hoping I can bang them out tomorrow, get my rankings done, get my PowerPoint done, and maybe have that video produced for you guys by Friday. Friday is the goal. Again, we'll do exactly what me and Jackson did last time. I'll do that with my running backs as well. And then probably I would say about 3-4 weeks from now, we'll do our group rankings where we start debating and having some hot takes. I also want to have a lot of bold takes this year too on the draft. Give me a bold take. Is this guy a boom? Is this guy a bust? You gotta choose. And just so we have more bold takes on this channel. But welcome now if you're just tuning in. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment your questions in the comment section.
Comment.
Go ahead, Mike. Anything. What's going on? Oh, here we go real fast. We got one already. Should the Saints sign Richard Sherman? I'll let you guys hop in right away.
You don't have the money to do it. I wouldn't waste money on a guy like Richard Sherman. You're already paying a backup quarterback top money. So I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know where this team's got the money to bring in guys like Jameis Winston back. So, Richard Sherman's getting up there in age. So, again, I don't think it's worth to pay him, especially because I don't know how you guys are paying some of your guys in general. So, I don't think the Saints should try to go get Richard Sherman because, they can in general. So, that's that. John Roby's in the chat.
John Roby, my team's making a splash, yo. Pat's baby. John Roby, yeah, the Patriots are doing pretty dang good, to be honest with you. I am absolutely shocked by the moves that they have made already with Geno Smith and bringing in Hunter Henry and Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. They've definitely made a splash.
They made a splash, but right now they really don't have. They still don't have a guy. They're getting all these weapons, and they still really have anyone to throw them the ball. So
absolutely. Back to the Saints though, real fast. Richard Sherman. I don't know if you want to pay him. I think that he's only going to take about $8 million, $9 maybe $1 million. And he's 33 years old. 2019, he was a Pro Bowler, so I mean, he still has some playing ability left in him. The Saints don't have the cap space, unless if I'm going crazy, but bringing back Winston was pulling a few strings that I didn't think that they would be able to do, and I really don't think that Richard Sherman is a possibility. Sherman could be going to a team that needs a cornerback that has money. And one team off the top of my head, again a little bias here, is the Las Vegas Raiders. They got about $20 million to spend. $7 million, a little scratch on the ass, and he was a former player for Gus Bradley's system. We need a veteran leader. Wouldn't shock me if it was to go to a team like the Raiders.
Fit perfect.
What else? What else, fellas? Anything else in the chat? Mike, John Roby said something. You want to read
it? He said, see, like, this guy, first off, you don't even type like you're half intelligent, John. And you said, Mike, yo, whack. Cam will be back to MVP form. That's an ignorant statement, and I think you should take a spelling class.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cam's going to be back to MVP form, I might as well just go ahead and say the Raiders are going to win the division. But
I know.
Again, what I think the Patriots are kind of doing, because if you look at all their main targets, they just brought in like Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, especially the two tight ends and Janu Smith and Hunter Henry. They're kind of, they're not just 1-year deals, because I'm pretty sure Aguilar and Bourne are 3-year deals. I think Aguilar might be 2, but Bourne is 3. I know Hunter Henry's 3 and Janu Smith is 4 years.
Yeah.
So maybe this team's looking to get a quarterback in the first round, roll out with Cam, and then they have these weapons for their guy that comes in the future in this year's draft. But that's kind of what I'm kind of thinking.
The question is, who's going to be there in this year's draft for the Patriots? I mean, I don't know who's going to fall. I've
seen reports that they're pretty high on Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, there could be a good chance Justin Fields isn't there. I know, Nick, you think he's going to fall a decent amount, so maybe he falls into Bill Belichick's laps. We'll have to wait and see what happens. When we have our mock drafts out for you guys, we'll have all that covered. But
Darius House said, do you think Sammy Watkins should sign with the Colts? That's a good spot for him. Yeah,
I've watched Sammy Watkins play the past 3 years. The dude's a stud when he's on the field, but he can't stay on the field. The dude's made of glass. So, again, I think I've seen reports saying that the Titans want to go out and get him. I think the Colts would be a great fit for him with their new quarterback in Carson Wentz. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I can definitely see the Colts being in contention for Sammy Watkins. I don't think there'll be a lot of teams going after Sammy Watkins, but I think the Colts definitely could make a strong push for him.
No, I think that Sammy Watkins is a guy that's going to demand a large payday, and he shouldn't. I mean, it's just like Jadeveon Clowney. I think it's going to be more of a fool's gold situation. A team's going to pay him big money to be there, and we all know his history. Same thing with Will Fuller. I mean, Will Fuller has a more friendly deal, and I like what Will Fuller can do. It's just that the guy hasn't been healthy for years, and you're paying him over $10 million to go there and play 4, 5, 6 games, and they're made out of glass. So Sammy Watkins, again, is a guy that's going to demand a lot of money, has a lot of upside, but I like to hit on the guys, again, no bias here, but look at Aguilar, $1 million last year, and look how he performed. The guys that get paid this much too, the Giants bringing in John Ross. I think that's a very, very, something that goes a little bit underneath everyone's head here.
It's a low risk, high reward move right there.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's real high. I mean, you think about it, even the Raiders bringing in Solomon Thomas, the Giants bringing in John Ross. These are former first-round picks that have a hell of a lot of potential, that are on minimal contracts, that can explode out of the scene. Another guy, Mike, you're an Eagles fan. I mean, for the love of God, Anthony Harris on a $5 million deal, that's absolutely amazing deal. But real fast, I'm going to hop into this. You think of a team that it makes you start scratching your head. I mean, the Giants had a hell of a draft. They got, a hell of a free agency so far to this point. Bringing in Adoree Jackson, Kenny Golladay, and bringing in John Ross. You still got Sterling Shepard. You still got Darius Slayton. You still got Evan Ingram. I mean, this team could be solid. Saquon Barkley. I wish they would have brought back Wayne Gallman. We made many of mentions about Wayne Gallman before. But the only thing I got to say about the Giants that I really question is that move. Not bringing back Gallman, bringing in Devontae Booker, who played good for Las Vegas, but I'm not as big of a fan of Devontae Booker as I am as a Wayne Gallman. Go ahead, Mike.
I question the Giants' ability to stay on the field. Most of that offense you just named off, they have injury history. Saquon Barkley, we know Kenny Golladay has been injured. Sterling Shepard has missed his fair share of time. Evan Ingram. So if they need to stay healthy, first off, that's the most important thing. but they can do a lot of damage if they're on the field. If they're all on the field at the same time and Daniel Jones cuts back on the turnovers, I think the Giants could be having a fun year.
Real fast, Joe. B, we see you real fast. But Darius, let me get to him real fast. I'll talk to you guys. What's up, KH? Here we go. Darius Howell. Should the Seahawks sign Antonio Brown? I'll let you guys run away with that. Go ahead.
If I was the Seahawks, I would want him, but I think he's going to – I think right now Antonio Brown is not all for the money. I know prior years he was all for the money, but I think after he loves Tom Brady, getting a taste of what winning a Super Bowl is like, I think he's going to take a team-friendly deal and go back to Tampa Bay. If I was the Seahawks, I would pursue him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, like you just said, and I think Tom Brady single-handedly fixed Antonio Brown. I mean, I'm pretty sure Antonio Brown's living with Tom Brady, so I think Antonio Brown wants to be with Tom Brady. So I think, like you just said, he's going to take a team-friendly contract and stay in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I can't stand Antonio Brown, so I'm just going to avoid that question because that one I will be a little biased. Can't stand him. I'll avoid that. Here goes this. Job B said, New York Times reporting a warrant has been signed for Deshaun Watson. In addition, Alan Derowitz has been hired by Rusty. Yeah, I don't know about any of this. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Let me know if you have any updates about that. I don't know. The Deshaun Watson case has me scratching my head. I saw some of his tweets that he made. I'm not a big fan of what he said in the past. But again, you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to say that the man's innocent until we see otherwise. So, and the claims, over the years, I mean, we've seen so many claims that are just false. You got to wait and see. You got to see if the evidence provides itself. And if there's not a sufficient amount of evidence brought to the table at the courts, then the man will be innocent. I mean, you got to prove that. You can't already say that he's guilty before there's evidence there. So just wait, calm down, and let's see what the courts say. KH, what's up, man? Oh, G-Men all the way. Listen, you guys know, ask Jackson and Mike. I was a huge fan of Joe Judge. Still am. I love the guy. I mean, he's one of my favorite coaches in the league. I love Joe Judge. Every time I think of the guy, I just start smiling. I love his attitude. I love the way that he came in there. He changed the culture. And I think he made some hell of a signings this offseason so far with Kenny Golladay. You go and you look at what's his face? Kenny Golladay, John Ross, Devontae Booker, Dory Jackson. I mean, the Giants are going all the way. And they got back Leonard Williams. So, look at this. I mean, they got the Giants are going back to the way they used to be. I'm a fan of this New York Giants. And also, you got to look at the other New York team, the Jets. They've been making some good moves. Again, I give a lot of credit to that to Joe Douglas, their GM. Real fast, let me keep going here. We got Darius Howell said, should the Texans trade Deshaun Watson? I'll let you guys hear to that.
Absolutely, but not right now. I don't think they can. I don't think they'll be able to trade him.
I don't think so either. Jackson, go ahead.
When all of those lawsuit allegations go away from him, they should absolutely trade him. I mean, he doesn't want to be there. And me and Nick and Mike, we've all mentioned before, I think the Carolina Panthers should definitely go out and try to pursue Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like that would help the Panthers right now. It's just how much are they willing to give up? I don't want to see them go and give up someone like CMC and then give away their team. Especially that Mike Davis just got signed to Atlanta today. I mean, I think everyone's forgetting about that. Mike Davis played great for the Carolina Panthers. They don't have him anymore. So now it's CMC's team, and we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do, and we'll see. But here we go again. Athletes are always at risk of females' words, shaking my head, and in this case, multiple allegations. And KH, that's usually what happens. I mean, we got to look at it from both perspectives. One perspective is, are they saying the truth? I mean, a lot of these allegations come out and they're never true, right? We've seen this multiple times where there's all these allegations, one person comes out and then there's 10 other allegations and they're all false. In the same token, though, sometimes one person comes out and the other people feel comfortable of coming out. Either way, I feel like if this was 14 years ago, I mean, it shouldn't be brought up now. I mean, you should do it in a certain timely manner. Again, I'm not going to get too far into this. I'm not a business law or a law professor here, but I like talking sports, and I just feel like it's unfair for athletes. It's unfair for popular people. But in the same token, if he did it, he should pay. So we'll have to wait and see what the courts say. Mike, go ahead. I think you're going to say something.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of times the stuff isn't true. They're just going after money, but sometimes it is true. And if it is true, it's inexcusable. It should not have happened. It should not have gone down that way at all. Deshaun Watson should be ashamed of himself. But like you keep saying, he's innocent until he is proven guilty by the law in this country, and we should abide by that.
Exactly. And I'm tired for people trying to change the law. I mean, all around. I mean, I can go from politics to government to NFL, for crying out loud, to the NBA, to ML. We gotta listen and do what our country's been doing for years. Follow the damn Constitution. Stop trying to change the rules of the law and just do what the Constitution says. I'm tired of people trying to put their hands on everything. Follow what our country's done. We've been around since 1776 strong, and now we're starting to like go all over the place. So please, let's resume back to our old ways.
We don't want to make it political.
No, we're not. Here we go. They're putting him on league exemption list. There's no rules to be traded while on it. I don't know. Is there no rule? I'm not too sure. Do you guys know anything about that?
NFL franchise, are you going to trade for him? With the possible risk of not getting him?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm not.
Me either.
You'd be a full businessman unless you know something nobody else knows to make that move.
No, if you're any team right now, like put you guys in the role. KH, Darius, Thomas, if you're still here, John Roby, Ja, all you guys. If you guys are sitting here right now, whoever's in the chat, I mean, Deshaun Watson right now has these allegations against him. Are you willing to give up 2 first-round picks and Christian McCaffrey? No. Are you willing to give up 2 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks on any team? Think about your team. No. I'm not willing to do it right now. There's no way until these allegations get proven false, right? And once that happens, once he's proven innocent, well, you don't even have to be proven innocent. You're innocent until you're proven guilty. So he's innocent right now, but until these allegations go away, his value is a lot lower. And Houston probably shouldn't deal him as of right now. Go ahead, Mike.
Darius Howe said, should the Saints draft a quarterback? No. You got too much money tied up in the position. I mean, I wouldn't draft one. If I'm the New Orleans Saints, you can't draft one. It would just look bad.
I agree with you. Jackson, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you too, because you gotta look at they got rid of a lot. If you really look at it, they got rid of a receiver, they got rid of a linebacker, they got rid of some cornerbacks. So I want to draft the quarterback. When again, like Mike just said, he got a lot of money tied up with Taysom Hill and then bringing back Jameis Winston, and you need to attack other positions in the draft because you have to let a lot of positions go off your team to save money. So I don't think the Saints need to draft a quarterback this year.
Me either. And I mean, you want me to tell you how much money they got tied up into their quarterback position? Right now, I believe they got about 20. It's actually not horrendous. It's about, I think it's only $24 million between the two. Still a decent amount. There's no reason to draft another one. What, Mike?
That's just this season, though.
Yeah, no, this season.
They got Taysom Hill for like 100 years now.
I know, and that's something they got to figure out. So it's $24 million right now. This second, I don't think that is. Look, they got a guy named Jameis Winston, who was a former first-round pick. You got to let these guys. You got to give them time. You got to give them time. Now, Jameis Winston, when we saw him in Tampa Bay, he did not look great. So you got to give the guy time. And you know what? They really like what they saw over there in New Orleans with him as a backup. So, you know what? He might go out there and really look good, Darius. He might be your franchise guy. So, should they draft another one? Absolutely not. Now, if you didn't sign back Jameis, then maybe you would go out and maybe draft a quarterback. But right now, with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, no, you do not draft a quarterback. You never rush a quarterback position. You don't just draft 1,000 of them and you play out like Philadelphia. Ask Mike right now, man. Oof. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So, hopefully the Eagles don't draft another quarterback. But it might happen. I mean, it might happen. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what we got here. Because I'll take missing 1 year for having him for 5 years. He's still young. Because I would take missing. KH, I forget what we were saying back then. That was a while ago.
He was talking about Watson.
Watson, okay. And then John Roby said, might save this message, buddy. Pats beat Brady in the Super Bowl this year. Just watch.
John, why are you coming after me? I will make that bet. They won't. They will not be in the Super Bowl. I guarantee you, John. And then you're gonna be crying on your couch because your dynasty is not a dynasty anymore.
And absolutely, KH, I agree with you. Jameis should be a quarterback that averages 30 and 10. He just needs the right coaching and offense, which New Orleans is. And I agree with you. Look, Taysom Hill did not look like the guy that was using. I mean, you look at Taysom Hill, okay? He wasn't getting the ball to Alvin Kamara in the passing game because he takes it away with his own legs. So, yeah, he opens up the offense, but he also gets rid of the offense. You get someone like Jameis, he's going to find Alvin Kamara in the backfield more often. He's going to be able to stretch the ball downfield vertically, right? Jameis Winston could really be the guy. He just needs Sean Payton's a mastermind, too. I think that he could really fix Jameis Winston's struggles. That's
Jameis Winston. It all comes down to decision-making. If they can get – he likes to sling the ball downfield. I mean, he's capable of doing it, but he honestly, for him to work, he needs to get rid of the ball and hit Alvin Kamara on the check down.
Exactly. And everyone wants to make fun of check downs. Check downs are a way you win a football game. And seriously, I mean, rather than throwing those 30 interceptions, he could have went to the check down and turned those 30 interceptions to maybe 10 interceptions and probably had 45 touchdowns. I mean, you look at what he can do. Throwing 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions is quite impressive. But now you cut back 20 interceptions, that dude can throw another 10, 15 touchdowns. So he just need to learn to go to the check down more often and not throw away turnovers. Should the Jets trade Sam Darnold? I'll let you guys take it away, and then I'll give you my 2 cents.
Well, I mean, if they take a quarterback, absolutely. But if they're not going to take a quarterback, no. I mean, right now, I think they're going to take Zach Wilson. I don't necessarily think they should. I don't think Sam Darnold's gotten a fair chance. His team's been horrible his whole career. He's been hit hard his whole career. Right now, it looks like Zach Wilson will be the draft pick, so it looks like he will probably be traded.
Okay, Jackson?
Look, I'll give my take on this. Just if you go watch the salary video with Jackson, the free agency frenzy, we've stated multiple times at least, I don't think they should trade Sam Darnold because, look, we just saw him go out and get Corey Davis. Maybe they go out and draft a guy like Travis Etienne in the first round as well. Get, bulk up that running back guy because Travis Etienne, I mean, I've watched the kid. Dude's an absolute stud. He's got first-round talent written all over him. So you roll with Sam Darnold because, like Nick stated multiple times, and I'll back him up on this 10 out of 10 times. Sam Darnold was one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks coming out of that draft. Did not go to a team that was ready to win. So Sam Darnold's got the talent. We've seen him make throws. So maybe you take that number 2 pick, you trade down, you get a guy like Kyle Pitts, and now you have Corey Davis, you got Denzel Mims, who's young and upcoming. You got Travis Etienne and now young Kyle Pitts. We'll have to wait to see. If Sam Darnold doesn't win with that team, then that's when you move on. But now you have a team that's ready to win then, and then you have a rookie quarterback coming in.
I think Kyle Pitts might be the second best prospect in this draft overall. He might be the second best prospect after Trevor Lawrence in this draft, in my opinion. It would be a great move if the Jets went with Kyle Pitts. It's not a stretch for him. It really isn't. I'm telling you, this guy is phenomenal. You see the way he ran?
4.46. I mean, look, that's
ridiculous.
why yeah. My drafting strategy for the Jets all along had been exactly what Jackson just said. Since the beginning, that when we made that video, that was a push I was trying to make. I said, guys, listen, they trade down, get Pitts, who is very talented, like Mike said. He's a fit. I mean, for the love of God. He's not just a tight end, he's a receiver. 4.46 is receiver speed. So this guy's not, we got to stop putting definitions on what these guys are. This guy is just a receiver. Tight end, wide receiver. I don't care. He's just a receiver. He can play wide receiver. The Jets are getting the best receiver probably in the draft. The biggest mismatch in the draft. Maybe trade down to 8. Let Carolina trade up and take Zach Wilson. That helps Carolina. That helps New York. Get a first round for next year.
Yeah,
Take Pitts at 8.
Carolina's at 8. Pitts might not get to 8.
It's possible.
If he's there for 6, I bet you Philadelphia takes him. And there's a chance Cincinnati takes him at 5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But would it be a little ridiculous? You want me to tell you what I think Cincinnati should do, personally? They should trade down 2. They should trade down 2.
Or take Penny.
Penny Sewell's good. He's great. But what we got to start understanding is they need more than Sewell. They can trade down 10 spots, 5 spots, let a quarterback go up and take one, right? And they can say this. Get a second round pick on top of it. They can probably get a first round this year, the later first round, a second round this year, and maybe even a first round next year, and be able to draft offensive tackle, 2 offensive tackles back to back in the first round and the second round, and really protect Burrow rather than getting 1 stud. You get 2 or 3. I mean, because they still got their second round pick. So let's just say a team like Washington wants to trade up to 5. Or a team like that, right? One of those teams that are there. New England wants to trade up to 5. Somebody wants to trade up to 5. They can go and they can take later Rashawn Slater. They can take Alex Leatherwood in the second round. They can take an interior guy like maybe like a Landon Dickerson in the second round as well. And then they can go and they can say, hey, next year we just picked up a first-round pick. They get 3 starting offensive linemen like this rather than just having 2 or 1. They need to build an entire offensive line to protect their future quarterback in Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Sewell is the most for sure guy in the draft. There's a chance they can trade down and still take him because we see him falling down draft boards a little bit. So if they move a couple spots, pick up a first round the next year, they might still be able to take him. A team's going to want to move up to 5 to draft a quarterback. I can almost guarantee the Bengals will be getting calls.
All right, here we go. We're going to go back to the comments real fast. We got check downs with the top defense will win you a Super Bowl. I agree with you, Kay. I honestly do in that matter. John Roby, let's make a bet then, brother. I'll give you my Venmo. Right there you go. You got a bet on the line. Let's see if you take it.
I'm not blocking you, but you're done talking. I'm not responding to you for the rest of this live stream.
Okay, KH, if Patriots make a Super Bowl, Cam has to be an MVP. It has to be MVP, Cam. It's possible. I mean, it's possible. We'll have to wait and see. How long will this be? And it's NXT Gen. It will be pretty long. This stream's going to be around a while, so just stay tuned. But let me hop back. KH, Trey Lance is my number 1 quarterback, in my opinion. I'll let Mike and Jackson talk about this, and then I'll give you my take that I've been saying since the beginning on my video. Go ahead.
I'm a big fan of Trey Lance. You'll see in my ranking video, he's not the number 1 quarterback in the draft, but he can be the biggest upside out of all of them. He really can be. Jackson, I know you keep bouncing around with him. I saw you in one thing agree, and then in your video you have the complete opposite opinion on him. So let's hear what you got to say.
Look, when I watched Trey Lance, like you said, I really did have a hard time. I had to watch him for a long time. I definitely spent the most time on him because I really had a hard time coming with an opinion on him.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
All right, he broke up. Let me go. I'm going to go to me and Mike.
Agreed with
Oh,
what Nick was saying.
time out. Go back.
Where was I going with this?
Start over.
Hello?
Yep.
Start over.
Say it again.
Did I cut out?
Yes,
We
go ahead.
good?
Start over. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk. Say something. Go ahead.
All right. Let me start over here. Again, I was, I had to watch a lot of film on Trey Lance. I really had a hard time coming up with an opinion. And if you go watch Nick's scouting analysis video and watch mine, we kind of said the same thing. Again, I think Trey Lance, the dude's he's got potential, but he's going to be a project. He really is going to be a project, just for the sole purpose that he doesn't have a lot of college experience. I mean, he doesn't turn over the ball much. I don't think he turned over the ball at all, really throwing interceptions in college. But he's got the big arm. It's just the lack of inexperience. The inexperience really does it for me. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, like if a team like Carolina took him, the team's ready to win now, but I don't think Trey Lance is ready to take that next level, or at least take that Carolina team to the next level.
Go ahead, Mike.
You guys keep using the term project. I think that's wrong in this scenario. A project is a player you pick up late in the draft that really can't do anything. Trey Lance can do things. And I understand he has not played that many games, but neither have a lot of these other guys we're looking at. We're looking at Zach Wilson that might have, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, how many starts does Zach Wilson have? 20?
Maybe, something around there.
Something around 20. So that's right around the same number as Trey Lance had his junior year, and then he played 1 game in his senior year, which you can't really judge him off of. He looked good at his pro day, but I don't think the correct term is project. I think project is a guy you take in the mid to late rounds who is just raw talent. Trey Lance is more than just raw talent. He can do things well. Everybody as a rookie needs coaching coming into the NFL. So he is going to improve. I think there's a huge upside with Trey Lance. I wouldn't say he's the best quarterback in the draft right now, but I'd say he has huge upside.
Yeah, look, I've been very firm on my stance on Trey Lance. And Jackson's been flopping. Mike's been firm on his. I've been firm on mine, and I'm not going to change. Trey Lance is what he showed. Trey Lance has thrown the ball about 300 times in college, total. Zach Wilson has thrown the ball over 700, 800 times in college. Trey Lance has only thrown the ball 300-something times in college. Matt Jones, another guy that we talked about, has thrown the ball over 500 times in college. Trey Lance has only thrown, I'm going to repeat this again, about 300 times in college. The guy had 1 season. We didn't see him this past season. We don't know what he offers last year. We only saw 1 game. We keep on saying this guy has a cannon of an arm. He doesn't have the best arm in the draft. He doesn't. It's just not there. We keep on making comparisons that he's the next Josh Allen. I hear really a scout I respect a hell of a lot, Daniel Jeremiah. Keep on comparing him to Josh Allen. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, listen, Daniel, I respect your scouting a lot. But let me tell you something. Just because you missed on the first Josh Allen doesn't mean that you should try to overcompensate on this guy. And that's what he's doing. Go ahead.
That's not what he's doing. Well, maybe you may take it a different way than I'm taking it. I don't think he's necessarily saying that his play style is a lot like Josh Allen's. I mean, he does have a big arm. He moves well, but I think he's saying he's in Josh Allen in a sense of he has tremendous upside because he's a physical freak. I think that's where he's gaining that comparison because Josh Allen wasn't a real big top guy when he came out either from Wyoming. So I think that's kind of the comparison he's making to Josh Allen, not like the complete play style. And they're similar size, too.
No, the body-wise, all that, yes. I'm not going to disagree with that. The thing is that Josh Allen, coming out of Wyoming, this guy was throwing the ball. I remember watching him. He threw a ball like 70-plus yards on his pro day. From what I saw, I only saw this guy throw the ball max distance. I saw this guy throw the ball in game was 63 yards. I saw his pro day. I think the farthest I saw him throw was 55 yards.
We're talking about 7 yards is the difference there.
Yeah, exactly. But then remember when we were talking about Mac Jones and I said 7 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, we got to start. And you said that was a big difference. Guess who I saw? Go ahead.
No, I didn't say it was a big difference. What I said the other day was how often, other than a Hail Mary at the end of the game, do these guys need to throw a ball 65 yards in the air in the NFL? Not a lot.
No, absolutely.
You really don't see it unless you're Patrick Mahomes running for your life and just slinging one up. You don't see a guy throw the ball 65 yards in the air consistently. So I'm saying they don't really need to, most of them can, but they don't really have to do it on a regular basis.
No, I agree with you in the sense of that. And that's why I like Matt Jones. And that's why I'm still telling you, at pick 8, if I'm Carolina and Wilson and Lawrence are off the board, I'm going with Matt Jones. And here's why. I don't know if any of you watched the Pro Day today, but I only watched bits and pieces. And the one throw I saw, and I still did go back and watch the whole thing, but the guy that I only saw him throw 55 yards on game film, threw the ball 63 yards in the air. And everyone's saying he has a bad arm. Why are we saying he has a bad arm?
They're not saying, they're not saying he has a bad arm. They're saying he doesn't have the velocity.
Oh, yes, I completely disagree then. I completely disagree. Because go ahead.
I'm not saying he has a bad arm. I'm not saying he has a bad deep ball. He was hitting Jalen Waddle before he got hurt and Devontae Smith all year. But he doesn't have Trevor Lawrence's velocity off the throw. He doesn't have Zach Wilson's velocity off the throw or Trey Lance's for that matter.
I'll be honest with you. The only 2 guys in this, I got 3 guys above him in velocity. Kellen Mond, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Lawrence. Besides those 3, I have him ranked in tied with Trey Lance at 3rd. I mean, it's those 3, and then after that, I got Matt Jones and Trey Lance having the same velocity.
But the problem is they're not doing they're not going to do the miles per hour thing this year because there's going to be no combine. But I guarantee you were incorrect with that statement. But that doesn't really make a difference because Mac Jones gets rid of the ball a lot quicker than Trey Lance, and he'll make up for it.
I'm telling you right now, I feel like the if you want to take a quarterback that's NFL ready and you're sitting there at 8 and Lawrence and Wilson are off the board, the next best guy to take is Matt Jones. And I know, Jackson, you had Matt Jones ranked really low on your board. If you're Carolina, both those 2 are off the board. Who do you go with?
Look, I didn't really. What brought down Mac Jones on my board is the fact that he isn't really mobile. But I said in the video, I said if his mobility wasn't as low it is, I mean, he would probably be one of the top guys on my board. I'm sitting there at 8. Take a shot at Carolina, or take a shot with Mac Jones. He's probably the most ready guy. He's won a national championship. I think this Carolina team is ready to, make the jump and take it to the next level. I think Mac Jones could be that guy for him.
So what I want to hear you say now is that, Nick, I'm sorry I was wrong in the Carolina Panthers video.
What? What are you talking about?
Mike, what was he saying?
I know what he said, but that's not necessary. He did further study and changed his opinion. My opinion is staying the same. You're the Carolina Panthers. You want to be good. I mean, listen, they can be good right away. They're too young to be amazing right now. They're still not going to get past Tampa Bay. I want the guy that has the bigger upside, and I'm taking Trey Lance, especially with a quarterback mind like Joe Brady on the sideline and Matt Rule on that sideline. It's a young, smart coaching staff. They want the guy that can do both. They want the more athletic player. And that's why I think they go with Lance or they go with the Fields. If they move up, there's a big chance they take Justin Fields, which I think would be a mistake personally if they trade up to 3 and take Justin Fields. But I saw that today on, I think it was Mel Kiper's mock draft.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Again, Jackson, you did say you like Justin Fields. What do you think about Justin Fields?
Look, What I think about Justin Fields is, again, I think this kid has some of the most potential in this draft. And again, I feel like this kid also could be another project kind of guy. I know Mike doesn't really like that word right now, but I feel like he'd be another project guy. He's got a nice arm. He's a very mobile quarterback. I feel like he's really good. He's got really good decision making. But what really does it for me is like Nick, you're a big fan of the guys that can make the checkdowns. I feel like that's where Justin Fields struggles, and if he can get better at that, again, he could be a really good quarterback in this league.
A guy like Jordan Mailata, that's a project. You get drafted in a late draft, not really knowing anything, a rugby player, and you learn how to play football. I don't consider a guy who's going to be a top 10 pick a project pick because he wouldn't be a top 10 pick.
I don't think he's going to be a top 10 pick. I don't. I think the people are going to see exactly what I'm seeing with these guys.
You don't think Fields is a top 10 pick?
Fields is not going to be a top 10 pick, no. The 3 top 10 picks, if he is, it's going to be a disaster. Because a team in the top 10 needs a guy that's going to go in and play right away. Look, Justin Fields has all the talent in the world. Go ahead, Sadie. We only one of us can talk at once. Go ahead.
You know why he'll be a top 10 pick?
Why?
Not just based off of what they see on the film, because of what's coming out next year at the quarterback position. There's very little coming out next year at the quarterback position. So these teams that are horrible want to take their quarterback this year because they're not going to have the same opportunity to get him next year because there truly isn't as many names to go around.
I don't disagree with you, but here's my question. Who in the top 10 is going to take a quarterback right now?
There's going to be a trade. We're going to see trades in this.
But why? Why? I mean, if the Cards play correctly, I don't even think that there needs to be a trade. The only trade I see, honestly, might have that happen that I feel like that should happen personally would be the Carolina Panthers maybe saying, you know what, your guys' cameras are bouncing around like, I don't know why they're bouncing around like crazy. Let me try to see if I can fix it. The only thing that I can see that this team, the team that I would honestly say should trade up maybe would be the team called the Carolina Panthers. Besides them, I truly do not think that for Zach Wilson. Say it again.
Oh, there are smoke screens all over. The Falcons have been attached to a quarterback since mock drafts have been coming out.
Yeah, but I don't, Mike. I don't look at. I'm telling you, I don't care about these damn mock drafts.
Or thinking the Falcons are in on a quarterback because of Matt Ryan's age and his inability to get things done. The team is right on the brink of rebuild, so a team is going to think they may take a quarterback, and that's trade bait.
Yeah, I think GMs know better than the analysts do on TV, and I truly do not think. Look, Martin, I'll get right to you in the live chat, and I'll go and read you, and I'll give you my opinion. I'll have these guys take their opinions. But look, okay, I look at these guys. I look at everything. I look at the analysts over the years. They're always wrong. Now, I'm telling you this. If you're at one, Jacksonville, go ahead, say it.
I said, when you make a statement, you're going to be wrong. Time in and time out. There are some who are right. There are some who are wrong. There's their fair share of both. Continue.
So, in my opinion, look, number one, we can all lock in it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Number two, I think it's going to be Zach Wilson any way it goes, whether it's Carolina trading up to 2 or the New York Jets taking him at 2. At 3, you got the Miami Dolphins, no quarterback. I don't think they're going to trade either. Number 4, no, I don't think that Atlanta goes for a quarterback. Number 5, I don't see
think they should. I think there's a chance they do.
There might be a chance. I mean, if all hell breaks loose. But in all honesty, the only teams I see, if realistically going after a quarterback, is the number 1, I think the number 2, whether it's the Jets or the Panthers. And then with that being stated, I think if the Panthers don't trade up to 2 and Wilson's off the board at 2, I think the Panthers will wait where they're at. Nobody's worth hopping up and taking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait until 8. Take Matt Jones. And if they don't want to take Matt Jones at 8, then maybe they pass on a quarterback. But I think they'll take Matt Jones at 8. And then, hey, who's going to trade up for Justin Fields? I don't see. I think Justin Fields will be taken around 15. I think that maybe we'll see Kellen Mond taken around 18 to 20-ish. And I think that we'll see Trey Lance taken in the back half of the first round to the second round. Look, guys, Martin, I'll get to you real fast. You say you think Trey Lance, I believe, is the best option. Let me just continue his comments real fast. I honestly don't think that there are more than 2 quarterbacks that are pro-ready. The rest are projects, Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance. Atlanta might trade back. So, Mike, I'll let you take it away real fast. He says that he thinks
Alright.
2 quarterbacks are pro-ready, and he says that he thinks that the 2 are Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance. I would have to disagree. Martin, I'll give you my analysis in a second, but Mike, I'll let you take away and respond to his comment. Go ahead.
You want to talk about his comment or what you were just talking about?
What you start with me and then you're gonna go to his comment. Go ahead.
Say it again. You said who's going to be in the top 10, and then the rest are going to drop at 15.
At the
You
most
said
we'll
it's gonna
see taken in the top 10 will be 3 quarterbacks. The 3 that are most NFL ready right now. And they are.
So yeah, 3. So and then you're going to get to Denver, who if a Justin Fields drops to Denver, there's a phenomenal chance they take him. You're going to get to San Francisco at 12. If a guy like Justin Fields drops to San Francisco at 12, they're going to take him.
They
you
could
keep going down. You see New England,
but
15. If Mac Jones drops to New England, they're taking him at 15.
Absolutely, I don't see Matt Jones going out of the top 10. I don't see it.
If Fields drops to 15, if any of those 4 top prospects drop to 15 or 12 for that matter to San Francisco, there's a good chance that they're going to be selected.
Jackson, go ahead. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, if these guys, like you were saying, Mike, if like a guy like Justin Fields, again, I think there's a good chance he could fall. Maybe a team like Denver takes him to the top 10. I don't think they should. But again, I think San Francisco could. I think, again, the 3 guys, like Nick said, I think there's 3 guys that for sure I think are going to go in the top 10. It's going to be Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones. Fields could be a top 10 quarterback. He could be. He could be, but I don't think he should be. Like you said, San Francisco could go out and get him. Again, like I've said earlier in the stream, I've seen that New England is very high on Justin Fields.
So my only question is go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
Well, my question to you is that you got Fields listed a lot high. I mean, you got multiple quarterbacks listed higher than Jones. But you got Jones on the top 10, all these quarterbacks falling outside the top 10.
Again, if you watch the video, I said Mac Jones would be so much higher on my list if he was a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't need to be mobile. So I think Mac Jones, again, I think he's one of the best guys in this draft. He's definitely the most NFL ready.
Yeah, I think right. A lot of teams want the mobile quarterback. They want the new thing. Now I know me and Nick, we're not like. I'd rather have a guy in a pocket. I'd rather have a guy who's going to throw the ball first. But teams in the NFL today, they want that guy that can run. And being that Fields just ran a 4.41 or whatever he ran, I guarantee you that moved him up teams' radars. I personally don't think that should really matter. But like I haven't come out with my mock draft yet, so I haven't even predicted who's going to be in what. But I'm just talking as what I'm hearing and how I think teams are thinking. And I think seeing a guy that can run like that turns teams on today in the NFL.
All right, real fast. Let me just go down the line here. We got. I think the Falcons will draft a quarterback, Pats. I mean, listen, you may think that. I just, I don't think you rush it. Listen, here's my reasoning. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't think they should. Like, I don't think the Falcons should. But would it be if the Falcons take a Fields or a Lance and sit them behind Matt Ryan for a year, that could do good. That could do good.
But here's my question as an organization. Go ahead.
It's not ready to win. I mean, if you're gonna say they have so many other needs, that team is not ready to win. Defensively, on the defensive side of the football, they're a mess. And on offense, they just signed that running back, but they don't have their team doesn't stay healthy on a regular basis. Julio Jones is out every other week. Calvin Ridley broke out this year, but I don't think that team is ready to win anything. So drafting a quarterback in the first round of this draft, it wouldn't be a terrible pick.
See, that's why I completely disagree. I don't think because
seriously believe the team can go make a run in the playoffs right now.
What's that?
You think Atlanta Falcons can make a run?
You're right.
In the
No, I
playoffs
don't.
right
And that's
now?
exactly why I don't draft a young kid right now. Look at what happened to Sam Darnold. I mean, these are the. Go ahead.
But he's not gonna come play. He's not gonna come in and play right away.
He doesn't have to. Mike, listen to this though. Here's my reasoning, and guys, you guys let us know what you think. But personally, I don't draft a quarterback with a team. If you draft a quarterback, you're wasting the rookie years that you need. You got 4 years to go and make a push on a rookie deal. No quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl as a top 3 highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And I don't think once Justin Fields needs to get paid, if he sits a year behind Matt Ryan for a year, and then he goes into year 2, and let's say he's the guy, they're still not ready by year 2. And they're probably maybe still not even ready by year 3. And year 4, maybe you're making a push. And guess what? Boom, you got to pay your quarterback, and now the rest of your team is still not even built. You can't take a quarterback before the team's built. Look at Sam. Wait, real fast. Look real fast, please. Look at Sam Darnold. Goes to New York Jets. The team's not ready. He fails in 4 years. They got to pay Sam Darnold. His career trajectory completely downhill. You look at Patrick Mahomes, drafted to sit behind Alex Smith. The team was ready. It was built up for him to succeed. You have Alex Smith go for 1 year. Pat Mahomes slides into year 2 with a team that's built. He has 3 years to go after a ring. He wins a ring, and now he gets his deal. That's how you draft a quarterback when the team's ready. You should never draft a quarterback unless the team around the quarterback is ready to go. If you draft a quarterback without a team being ready, you're wasting the young man's career and you will never succeed. It's a waste of a draft pick. It will never win. It has never been successful in the NFL. And if you can show me one quarterback that's completely changed around a team talent-wise, I'll let you go. I mean, Baker Mayfield went to a team with Myles Garrett. He went to a team with Denzel Ward. He went to a team with Nick Chubb. He went to a team with Jarvis Landry. They had the pieces. They just weren't clicking. He was that piece that they needed. So you look, all the success stories had pieces around them. There's never been a success story where a Justin Fields can come in and save the day for Atlanta Falcons that completely right now is on fire. It's never happened. And if you can name one or Jackson can name one, I'll say you guys are right and I'll shut up my claim. But I can't think of a single guy that's walked in, especially as a project, comes in year 2, has 3 years to prove himself and get that big contract and turn the team into a contender and maybe even make a push for the Super Bowl. It just doesn't happen in the national. It might be fun to say. It might be a good idea maybe. But I feel like the last thing that you should pick up is a quarterback because you want to make sure when you get that quarterback, he's on a rookie deal and he's ready to go. Until then, you keep the veteran that can win games and Matt Ryan. And listen, you rebuild with Matt Ryan, and 3 years from now, maybe 2 years from now, if that team's really built good by Arthur Smith, then you draft a quarterback and you're ready to go. Or you get a veteran, a young veteran. There's a lot of guys. A Mitch Trubisky, for crying out loud. A Marcus Mariota. These guys are still young guys. They just never had a second chance. Give them a second chance to shine and something special might happen. But I'll let you go ahead and explain what you think.
Well, no, you threw a lot out there in about 30 seconds. I gotta ask you a couple questions. When is the team supposed to draft a quarterback?
When the team's ready to go.
So when the team is half decent and ready to go, you're not going to be in position to draft one. You're going to be mid to late first round. So what do you expect? Trade a boatload to go get a guy? Or when you're bad, do you draft the quarterback early and let him grow? Like I agree with you with some of the things you were saying, but some of the things are extremely confusing to me because with your logic, no one should ever draft a quarterback. The Bengals shouldn't have taken Burrow. Colts shouldn't have taken Luck. Andrew Luck is a guy that stepped into a horrible situation with the Indianapolis Colts early in his career and completely turned that team around. The Eagles should not have taken Donovan McNabb back in 1999, and a couple years in, he was playing in NFC championships and winning the division every year prior to the Eagles being a horrible football team. So you need to take a quarterback when your team is in need of a quarterback. I mean, then you bring weapons around the guy. You can't be sitting there saying, well, we got to build a team and then go get it. You got to get your centerpiece first. You got to get the center of your offense, the center of your team, and then build around him.
Yeah, but here's my question. Is Justin Fields that much of a need for Atlanta right now? Is he worth the fourth? They can get a really good player right now this year that can go in there and help them for the future, or they can draft this quarterback that I think it personally is a dream. Oh, look at the luxury of Justin Fields, what he can do with his mobility, and we can't. No. Listen, this team needs to build. Justin Fields will not help Atlanta. If they take him, I'm going to shit all over the pick, really, because it will be a terrible decision for Atlanta, and I'll crap on the pick, and know what? If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it. But let me just go back again. I was right on Josh Allen. You were right, and I was also right. We were right on Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow was a special talent. Justin Fields is not a special talent that should be taken at 4. It just can't happen. They got Matt Ryan. He's better than Fields. Fields is a project. He's going to take 2 or 3. He doesn't even go through progressions properly. They need him.
Listen. So you're saying you can take a quarterback, but the guy needs to be spectacular.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So if Zach Wilson drops to 4, you wouldn't mind if the Falcons took Zach
I
Wilson.
would, yes, I would be more, yes, because I feel like he's the only two quarterbacks worth, in my opinion, going inside the top 10. Or there's three actually in the top 10. Is the three I mentioned: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones. The rest, Trey Lance has only thrown the ball 300 times in college. Okay? Zach Wilson has thrown the ball over 800 times in college. Trevor Lawrence, I don't even want to look up his number. I mean, it's well probably over 1,000. The only time Daniel Jones, remember when he was drafted, I said, if that's your guy, you go and get him. I don't feel like Justin Fields is that, and Daniel Jones is an exception. I mean, if that's their guy, go and get him. I don't think he was a. Go ahead.
I don't like your opinion on the matter that you shouldn't draft a quarterback if your team isn't complete. I just disagree with that. You should draft if you need a quarterback on your team, you draft a quarterback and then you build a team around that player. You don't.
But here's my question to you.
Like, it does work for veterans. Like if you're gonna build a team and then like the one guy said in the comments when the Cardinals brought in Kurt Warner, they had a good team around them. They needed a quarterback to get over the hump. They brought in Kurt Warner. He took them to the Super Bowl. But you don't build a team and then throw a rookie. Like you can do that if you have one terrible season. But most of the time, if you have a good team, you're not going to be in position to take one of the good quarterbacks.
I want to just show you this. Marcus Mariota. Where's Mariota right now? Not there. Trubisky, not there. Winston, not there. All these, Sam Darnold might not be there. These are all guys that had a boatload of talent coming out of college. They did. Josh Rosen, nowhere to be found.
Okay,
all these players.
We could say the same. We could say Patrick Mahomes. He's around. Deshaun
Watson,
but
like
too.
But go back to what Jackson just said. What I said about Jackson before and the Chiefs. The Chiefs had a team, did they not?
Moved up. They moved up to get him. Yes,
yeah, but did they have it? Then that's why he's a success story, because he went to a team. If he went to the Jets, I'm sorry, guys. Maybe you'll shit all over me, but I don't think Pat Mahomes is looking as good as we see him right now on the Jets.
The Jets have overall been a terrible at making decisions as an organization. It's like Darnold struggled because they never put anything around Darnold. There are plenty of rookie quarterbacks who were drafted to bad teams and they put stuff around them. It's not like Sam Darnold truly has never had anything put around him.
Exactly.
That's personnel. Like that's their fault. But that doesn't mean like so. Say the Raiders tank and like the Raiders are not a complete team right now. They have a horrible season, and they're sitting at one. Derek Carr is no longer in the picture. You're going to take a quarterback regardless if your team's ready for one or not. And then you got to build around the player.
No, I disagree. I feel like you got to. If you have the number one overall pick, you got to take the best player on the board. If it's a quarterback, you trade down. I mean, you can get multiple first round picks for if some team's trying to trade up for a quarterback. It's just the way it is. I mean, why would the Raiders? I mean, for that example, Derek Carr is more than manageable. Why the hell would we draft a quarterback? You got to see what you got. There's more than enough quarterbacks to go around the NFL right now. I'm telling you, they're more than enough. And Martin, I love that you're commenting. I truly do. I love this. I love the engagement that you're having. But again, I hear what you're saying. I listen to you and Mike. You guys got similar opinions, but I got to disagree. And I'm telling you.
I mean, going by your logic, you're going to be taking guys hoping for a second chance every year. It's like if your team is bad, you need to address the quarterback position first because that's who you're going to build your team around.
Okay, but then once you pay them, we know it's the next man up mentality.
If they're not performing well, they're not going to get paid. Like look at a guy like Sam Darnold. Look at a guy like
so then it's a waste of a draft pick. That's exactly my point.
It's a gamble. Every draft pick in the NFL is a gamble.
You're right, but you don't want to rush what I'm saying is you don't rush a project at number 4 with Atlanta Falcons taking trailer. I mean,
pan out.
What's that?
I said I bet you close to 80% of draft picks in the NFL draft don't pan out. Every draft pick is a gamble.
Look, here's what I'm saying. Okay, go back to 2018. Okay, I had Allen at 1, Jackson at 2, and you guys know the list. 2019, Murray at 1, Jones at 2, Locke at 3. 2020, Justin Herbert at 1, Burrow at 2, Love at 3, 2 at 4, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example because the Cardinals didn't have much of a roster when they drafted.
You're right, but now I'm not. Now, what did I say? If the talent's there, you take the guy. Fields, I don't feel like has that. Look, my track record at quarterback position has been solid for the last.
On Fields, you're like you're not making it just about Fields. This whole argument has not just been about Justin
Give
Fields.
me another quarterback for a Give me. I'm telling you again. There's 2 quarterbacks at number 4 that I would take. Lawrence, Wilson. If they're not there, nobody else is worth it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I mean, if I'm a team like the Panthers, I move up to 4 and take a quarterback. But
if it's
I
Wilson,
agree with you, but I'm just saying, it's like you're making your philosophy that you made your philosophy seem like you never draft a quarterback in the National Football League until your team is ready to win. And when
look,
your team is ready to win a Super Bowl, you're never going to be in position to draft a quarterback unless you want to give up first-round picks for the next 3 years.
You're right, but what I'm saying is, look at Cleveland. I mean, the year when they took Mayfield. They were a solid team. They didn't have a great record, but they had the pieces. They just needed the coaching and the quarterback. You can be a bad team with all the pieces and just need to fill in your quarterback. That's exactly what they had. They had Garrett, they had Ward, they had Nick Chubb, right? What's that?
The unfortunate reality about that is you use a lot. That doesn't always happen in this league.
You're right, but does the other way work either? I mean, how often does the other one work?
I mean, it has worked in years past.
You're right. So how can we say? I'm telling you, the logic I'm saying. I know it might sound crazy, but I honestly think that there's a higher chance of.
I mean, that's the best case scenario. But unfortunately, there's 31 other teams in this league competing, and that's not always going to be dealt the best case scenario. So sometimes when you're early in the first round, you got to take your quarterback now, or you might not get one for another 10 years.
You're right, but.
It's not like you can go pick any quarterback you want. A lot of them don't pan out. If you love somebody, and you got the first pick in the draft, you got the third pick in the draft, whatever it may be, and he is sitting there, and you truly think this man is going to be the future of your franchise, you pick him and you build around him.
I agree with you 100%. If a team truly thinks that's their guy, go and take him. I'm just telling.
Justin Fields is going to be the guy for the future. I can't. Same thing with Daniel Jones and the Giants. If you truly think you can build around this guy and make him a star in this league, you select him.
You're right, and I'm not going to disagree with. If you think that's your guy, go take him. What I am saying is that I think it will be a terrible mistake for Atlanta to take Justin Fields at 4. The only 2 quarterbacks worth the top 5 picks, 2 quarterbacks in this draft, I think stand far and beyond everyone else. Lawrence, Wilson. After those 2, Mac Jones is the only other guy that's NFL ready right now. After that, I really love what I saw with Kellen Mond. I think Kellen Mond's very underrated, and I think that he will go in the teens. I think that Justin Fields is a project. I think he has everything that you want. Mobility. He has athleticism.
I'll tell you what's wrong with Justin Fields. Justin Fields can throw the deep ball very well. Make immediate passes.
Say it again. You're breaking up a little bit. Say it again.
I said the thing with Justin Fields, and this is the knock on Justin Fields, he can throw the deep ball well. We've seen him throw the deep ball well, but he can't make the short passes and the intermediate passes consistently.
100% agree with you.
And he doesn't look through his progressions well. And that's 2 things you need to have in the NFL to succeed. If you can't hit a check down, you're going to be like Cam Newton. Justin Fields rather pick off and run than throw an 8-yard pass to a running back or an 8-yard curl route to a tight end. That's where he does concern me. But I feel like going and sitting behind a guy like Matt Ryan for a year could be the best thing for him.
Yeah, and that's literally what I had in my scouting analysis, that he doesn't go through progressions. And I think at the NFL level, you know who else can go through progressions? A guy named Dwayne Haskins, and look where he is now, and he's also from Ohio State. These quarterbacks that don't...
Lamar Jackson doesn't go through progressions well.
You're right, and I think that Justin Fields is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. I just think that Lamar Jackson, I had Lamar Jackson ranked higher than I have Justin Fields ranked. Don't know why. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm stupid. But Justin Fields is more of a project, in my opinion, than Lamar Jackson was.
My point is, if you're a team and you need a quarterback, and you truly believe it's your guy, you take it. That's been my point the whole time. You said the same thing with Daniel Jones a couple years ago.
I don't disagree with that logic. I absolutely don't disagree with that logic.
We might not agree with it at the time. And 5 years down the line, we could be kicking ourselves because we didn't agree with the guy they took, and he ended up being a star.
You're right, but I'm gonna stick to my own look. I could be kicking myself by saying this, but that's the whole idea of doing the scouting. And so far, when I'm wrong, I was wrong with Antoine Winfield. I'm kicking myself. I was wrong with. I'm trying to think. You know probably another one that I was. Who else was I wrong with over the years? That's really. But the
I don't know.
quarterback position, I have not been wrong yet, and I'm gonna hold that here until I'm wrong. I was right about Josh Rosen. I was right about. I'm trying to think. Fast forward 20. I was right about. We were both right about Dwayne Haskins. I don't think either of us liked him. This past year, we both like Justin Herbert. I was the biggest fan of I was the biggest fan of Josh Allen. I was a huge fan of Justin Herbert. I have Justin Herbert ranked higher than all the quarterbacks coming out of this year's draft.
Herbert early. I knew Herbert was good the first time. So
We're getting some back. Jackson, is there something on Jackson, a fan or something, or a PlayStation running? I'm hearing
I don't hear anything.
I'm hearing a really loud screeching noise. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore either.
No, yeah, Justin Herbert was my guy for a long time. Justin Herbert was my number one quarterback in Kyler Murray's draft before he said he wasn't coming out. I was following Herbert for a long time. I thought Locke was going to be a good quarterback. Locke has not really showed me anything yet. And then the draft before that was before I really started scouting.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna trust my analysis. I mean, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I try to be careful myself about Fields, absolutely. But I was right on Lamar Jackson. I was right on Josh Allen. We were all right on Kyler Murray. I mean, Murray everyone knew about. But Daniel Jones I had ranked at second. I had Jones ranked at 2. Locke ranked at 3. Haskins ranked at 4. Last year I had Herbert 1, Burrow 2, Jordan Love, who we've not seen yet, at 3, 2 at 4, Eason at 5, Hurts at 6, and I have Fromm at 7. The order could be a little bit different. This year, again, I have my ranking. Once I watch the pro days, I'll do it again. But until I'm proven, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I could kick myself at the end of the day, but I'm going to stand by my decisions. A lot of people not just saying Herbert last year was going to be good. A lot of people not just for not having Tua at number 1. Or number 2 for that matter. I don't care if people think that I'm wrong with Trey Lance and Justin Fields. I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going to say I'm right again. And if I'm proven wrong, then I'll say I'm wrong. But so far, I have not been wrong. I can officially say I have not been wrong to the quarterback position.
Yeah. No, yeah, you've been good. I don't. My eggs aren't all in the Lamar Jackson basket yet, Nick. Lamar Jackson has not really proved anything to me.
But in that draft class, where does he rank?
It could take another 4 years to see.
It could be, absolutely. I think I had Allen at 1. I had Allen has the most potential. That's the guy who I think that's going to be the best over the long term. I said Lamar Jackson's right on Josh Allen's tail with the potential thing, but he's going to be he's a project. He was a project as well.
He was more project than a lot of.
Sam Darnold I had written down as the most NFL ready, but this was before the draft. After the draft, we know that he went to the least NFL ready team. So I mean that's not a good calculation. Baker Mayfield.
Put that good. He said that as fans, we don't allow quarterbacks to develop. You're 100% right. 100% right.
What's that? Say it again.
NFL is too fast paced.
Oh.
They're expecting an immediate response, and that's not how. Can't always give you an immediate response, especially the situations they're handed. Sam Darnold was handed a terrible situation, absolute terrible situation.
Absolutely. The last guy I gotta say is Baker Mayfield. I was a fan of Mayfield in the sense of I thought he could change a culture around. And one team that needed a culture change was Cleveland. I didn't think that he was the best thrower of the football or best quarterback, but I felt like he had the personality to change the culture around, and I think he did so. I think he did. Jackson, there is something screaming in your room.
Yeah, no, my.
Time out, Mike, we can't hear you. Time out. Jackson, fix something. I hear like the squeaking of the chair louder than I'm hearing Mike. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like, I think Skype's picking up the, is your PlayStation on?
What, no?
Because your mic is like extremely loud and it's just.
Well, is it better now?
No, it's screaming.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you.
You got an earbud in or something?
Yeah.
You're screaming.
Is that better?
No.
Leave
and come back. Turn off your PlayStation and we'll see you when you get back. Right now I'm going to cut to me and Mike. Mike, stay there.
Right.
I'm not trying to shoot my...
Wait, you want me to leave?
Yeah, leave. Yes, go. Time out. Mike, are you there?
Yeah.
I can hear you much better now.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything because none of these discussions are over with.
No.
Josh, none of it. But I was just on Justin Herbert way before anybody else, any media, Nick, Greg, Noah. I was on Justin Herbert even before that Kyler Murray draft coming up to that, because I looked at him and I truly saw a generational talent. People called me crazy. We were doing live streams. People were completely disagreeing with us. I wasn't going away from that because I know what I saw. Justin Herbert is an absolute stud, and he's going to continue to be a stud in the league. I still think he's a generational talent.
Absolutely, and
I don't think anybody like him. Trevor Lawrence, I like Trevor Lawrence a lot, but I don't think, from my eyes, watching prospects, I don't think he's touches Herbert. I do not.
I don't think so. I had the same thing. I put him back. I literally, I wish I could show these guys right now, but you go and you look at my scouting grade. I put him on the same scale I put Herbert on. Same grade. It's completely I do a bunch of letter grades, and I convert them to numbers. And long story short, he didn't rank as high as Herbert ranked. Again, if you go back to my quarterback analysis video at the end, we got it all linked time-wise. You guys can click on it. You can see the ranking of how I ranked the 2020 draft compared to the 2021 draft. In my own head, me right now, if I have to compare it using my grading scale, it was Herbert 1, Lawrence 2, Wilson 3, Burrow 4, Mond 5, Mac Jones 6, Jordan Love 7, Justin Fields 8, Trey Lance 9, and Tua Tagovailoa 10. Okay? There's my top 10 comparing 2020 to 2021. You guys may disagree. That's what it is. That's what I'm rocking with. That's how I rank them compared to this draft class. I don't think Jackson, you're back. You didn't say something, Jackson.
Oh, yo.
You're so loud, man. I don't know what's going on tonight. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's going. I don't know. Like, I hear your chair creaking and cracking. I don't know what's going on. Let me put this back on the triple
Anybody
screen.
got any questions in the chat? I think we should go back to the chat. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, go keep commenting. Here we go. Let me put Mike back here. Here we go. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we got, Infamous, glad you're here. Jose Bronco, what's up? The problem we have as fans is we don't allow these quarterbacks to develop. Absolutely, Mike covered that one, and all about instant. Exactly, and that's been the issue with the quarterback position. And
Herbert did. Yeah, Herbert came in and went off.
You're right, and that sent the clock on Tua.
That's do that. I had people saying Herbert wasn't ready. That's why he went back to college. I'm telling you, I was on the Herbert train 2 years earlier than most people, and all people except maybe Oregon fans knew how good he was. I knew he was good coming in, and you could just see it. He's got the arm strength. They said inconsistencies. See, they're saying the same. They say the same things about all the guys that end up being the best quarterbacks in the draft. Josh Allen, we heard the same thing. Inconsistencies, hold ball too long, mechanics. Like, we hear the same things about all these guys, and then they end up the best back draft class.
I agree with 100%. The only thing, and again, this is where I'm going to take my eyes over these other, the thing that the media says. The media said this with Allen. They said this with Herbert. You're 100% right. And now all of a sudden, we really don't. I'm saying it about Lance, but a lot of people are liking Lance. I'm telling you that, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but
the media is saying it too. The media is saying Trey Lance.
Mike, I have not seen a guy more hyped up like Trey Lance in any other draft. I don't think that would be this high.
Not that hyped up. I'm telling you, Nick. I am telling you.
Mike, he's mocked in at top 10.
The one guy I hear actually talking good things about Trey Lance is Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky is a very smart quarterback guy, ex-quarterback in the league. He is high on Trey Lance. The rest of them, I hear a lot of guys saying Trey Lance has a lot of inconsistencies. And
can I ask what like out of all the mock drafts you see, how often do you see him not in the top 10?
Yeah, but all these other guys were in the top 10 too. Nick Herbert was in the top 10. They complained about his inconsistencies. Josh Allen was in the top 10 in a lot of mock drafts. They pointed out his inconsistencies. I mean, there is always that one guy where they point out.
I don't hear as much noise. I mean, Allen, he was supposed to be the bust. He wasn't good, and Herbert was supposed to be the bust. He was good.
Preached is Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Fields is still tremendous. I hear him preached by everybody. And Fields is the one I truly disagree with. I see the most flaws in Justin Fields than the big three I'm talking about. Trevor Lawrence should be hyped up. Zach Wilson should be hyped up. But Fields is overhyped up, in my opinion.
I agree. I feel like Fields is overhyped up. I feel like Trey Lance in the top 10 is overhyped. I think that he has potential. Absolutely. I just don't know. The experience is a concern.
They point out his flaws. They mention that every experience. It's the first thing that's always mentioned. They point out his one game he played this year. He only completed 50% of passes. It's pointed out everywhere.
I don't. Daniel Jeremiah has him ranked as a top quarterback. Mel Kiper has him going high.
They had Josh Allen going high, but they still mentioned Josh Allen's inconsistencies. They had Justin Herbert going high in drafts. Everybody trashed Herbert. Every video you saw, Herbert will be the bust, this and that.
You're right. This is where I'm just gonna say again, I could be totally wrong. So you're saying that Trey Lance will succeed. I'm not. I'm gonna say that right now. In my opinion, if I had to take,
I'm saying that you're with a lot of analysts here. A lot of analysts are looking at Trey Lance.
I don't think, Jetson. What have you been hearing with Trey Lance?
I've only heard I haven't heard a lot about it. I've seen a lot of mock drafts saying he's going to be a top quarterback. I've seen a lot of mock drafts saying he's going to fall.
Guys, you guys are just keep saying, some say he's going to fall, but it's a lot of mixture. But the mock drafts, they always got quarterbacks going early because it's the most seeked position in the NFL. It doesn't matter if they got him in the top 10 of their mock draft. They're still expressing concerns with him. That's what I'm saying. Josh Allen was in the top 10 of a lot of mock drafts, but they surely had their concerns heard. Same thing with Justin Herbert. They're making concerns about Trey Lance. Just turn on the TV.
You're right, but I personally think that there's somebody better than Trey Lance that no one's talking about.
Yeah, but you think Munt.
And I think Kellen Mond.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't we say that? How about all the flaws we hear about him?
He said, Brian Clark said, do you think the Patriots should take Mac Jones if he's what?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I don't think.
And Martin said Trey Lance goes 6 to the Eagles, but doesn't start right away. Listen, with the Eagles, anything's possible these days. You can't trust anything that comes out of anybody's mouth in that organization.
Yeah, I think that Martin, you're high as like Mike is on Trey Lance. I'm gonna tell you, buyers beware. I'm gonna be the first one waving the flag. You're hearing a lot of hype. Turn on the film. Mike watch film. I watch film. We got two different things. What's that?
I'm telling you, before this year, no one even mentioned him. There's not that much hype on Trey Lance. There's more hype right now surrounding Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, and Mac Jones. I'm starting to hear a lot more about Mac Jones.
Because I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I think he deserves it too. But I'd say there's 4 guys that are getting more attention than Lance.
Yeah, but I think they're all like again deserving
for Lance.
I
haven't come out with my rankings yet, but I like Lance. I think he's got a lot of upside.
I still got what's his face with more upside. I mean, Kellen Mond, who has the media been hyping him up at all? No. None of these guys even in the comments. I mean, a lot of these fans, you guys don't know a lot about all these guys, but Kellen Mond's a guy that people got. Please tell me, Martin, Ryan, Jose, and Famous. Have you guys watched Kellen Mond? Have you guys watched Brock Purdy? I don't like Brock Purdy, but have you watched Jamie Newman? I mean, you guys hear these names, and the reason, the thing is, unless you turn on the film, and if you did Martin, or if you did Ryan, or if you did Jose, I know Mike did, I know Jackson did, that's why we run this channel, because we watch a lot of film on these guys, and that's why we're able, and clearly, me and Mike and Jackson, we all form different opinions, and so do you guys, but I'm telling you, if you listen to the media, they're wrong constantly. Watch film. Please turn on. Don't watch highlights. Highlights are only going to show you if you turn on the highlights and the highlights are disappointing you, that's going to be a really bad thing. The highlights disappoint you, because if they're not showing great film on highlights, then there's an issue. And then if you turn on their film and they're still not showing anything good, it's crazy. I watched every single one of these guys. I did a scouting analysis video. Jackson did one too. You did not include Kyle Trask, Jamie Newman, and Brock Purdy. But if you want to watch mine, I included every single person. You know, watch Jackson's too, and Mike will be coming out with his soon. Watch it. I go over every strength and every flaw. It's over an hour long. If you don't want to watch a full hour, we literally in the comments, we got things that you can click that can show you exactly who you want to watch, and I go over in an in-depth perspective on each guy. If you want to look at my track record, it's right in the video. Watch it. I'm telling you. You turn on the film with Lance. He's thrown the ball 300 times in college. 300 times. He didn't play last year. He played one game. I don't know if that's enough. You talked about Joe Burrow only playing 1 year. Joe Burrow in LSU threw the ball over 700, I think actually over, no, not over 900 times in college. And he threw the ball almost 400 times in 2018, threw the ball 527 times in 2019. Trey Lance has thrown the ball 300 times in total. Matt Jones thrown the ball over 500 times, about almost 600 times in college. Zach Wilson has thrown the ball over 700, almost 800 times in college. The only guy with a lack of experience is this guy named Lance. And it's not, I'm not saying that his upside's not good, but everybody's upside's pretty good. I mean, I think that Trey Lance has a bigger upside than Matt Jones, but I still think Matt Jones is ready now. And to go top 10, I just feel like it's a big issue because he's not ready. He's thrown the ball 300 times in college, and now you're going to expect him to go into the NFL and throw the ball 300, 400 times? There's no way. There's no way to go in, even on year 2, and do that and expect him to pick up coverages, be mobile, pick up protection, throw the ball downfield accurately and underneath accurately, fit some of his flawed mechanics. There's just no way. I just don't see Lance doing it. Matt Jones has done it. He's done. I do. One thing I give a lot of credit to Trey Lance. He did play an NFL style offense. Absolutely, he did play action passes. He did a lot of that. But this guy would throw the ball about 15 times a game.
And you to stress that he has been in the NFL style offense. He knows what it's like. I've been stressing that from day one. You can't fault the guy. I mean, if you're going to fault, you can fault him. But I'm not faulting him because of his
I'm not faulting him for that. But what I'm saying is he worth a top 10 pick?
On your board. If Trey Lance threw 600 passes, I guarantee you he'd be higher up your board.
If he threw 600 passes and he played phenomenal, absolutely. But you gotta go ahead and say it.
You're faulting him for lack of attempts.
But how can you rank him higher than guys that's done it time? It's not like Matt Jones struggled in the extra reps. He succeeded in the extra reps. Kellen Mond exceeded in the. He looked good with these extra reps. How can we say that Trey Lance was going to do better than these guys with the reps that he did not have? You can't. And that's why I'm saying you got to put a buyer's beware flag on Trey Lance. You don't get to do it as much.
He did better than a lot of guys with less reps.
I don't know. Who do you think he did better than?
The dude's junior, he had 48 total touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
I thought it was 28 touchdowns.
Total touchdowns, counting his rushing stats, because that matters today.
He had 20 rushing touchdowns?
I believe he had 48 total touchdowns in his junior year in college.
I don't know. I gotta check that. I know he threw. I thought he threw 28 touchdowns. He had 14 rushing touchdowns. So 14 and 28. What's that? 42.
42. Yeah.
42 total touchdowns. Again, and he had over 1,000 yards rushing. He's a dual threat. I got that listed down. I still don't know. I mean, I don't know if that puts him. I'm just telling you guys, watch Kellen Mond. Watch Mond. Watch Mond. Watch Mond. Here we go. See David Newman, not the other two. Say it again.
I said I like Kellen Mond. I think Kellen Mond is a lock for the Washington football team.
Yeah, I've said that a couple of times. Not on air, but I mentioned that to Nick a couple of times. Kellen Mond, man, he's going to be a big sleeper pick for some teams. Some teams in the later first round, maybe mid-first round, that takes Kellen Mond. They're going to get a stud. Like a team like Washington, if he sits behind Ryan Fitzpatrick for a year, and then Fitzpatrick hangs up the cleats and Mond comes into this team that's, winning and ready to win now, I mean, Washington could be in a really good spot if they took Kellen Mond.
Here's this. Ryan Clark said, if Carolina trades up to 3 and the other 2 are off the board, who do you take? And Ryan Clark, I'm going to tell you right now, if they trade up to 3 and the other 2 are off the board, I think that they made a stupid decision. But I'll go with Mike and Jackson, and I'll tell you, I think they can stay at 8 and probably take. The only other guy I think that's worth getting taken, the third quarterback off the board, in my opinion, should be Matt Jones. He's the most NFL ready.
Who Kellen Mond reminds me of a little bit coming out of this draft. It reminds me of Dak Prescott a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but
can come into the league, make an immediate impact. That's Kellen Mond.
Yeah, I don't know why he's being slept on, but these other guys, this guy's thrown the ball over 1,000 times.
Dak Prescott was.
What's
Dak
that?
Prescott got drafted and is right now is one of the only quarterbacks in that draft that's still on their team.
I hear you. I'm telling you guys, I'm not just high on this dude for no reason. I'm high on him for a reason. Jackson, what do you think?
About Mon?
No, just in general. Who would you take? The question here is for both of you guys actually to answer. If the Panthers trade up to number 3 and Lawrence and Wilson are off the board, who do you go with?
Look, if Carolina's going to trade up, it better be the number 2. All right, you gotta call up the Jets, get them on the phone, trade up to 2. If they don't want to trade with you, you don't go to 3 because I guarantee this: the Jets don't trade down, they're taking Zach Wilson. Or
No,
maybe,
yeah, but that's
there's
not. Wait,
possibly
that's not the. Wait, the question was if Wilson and Lawrence are off the board, who do you take at 3? If you're the Panthers.
I mean, I don't know who they should take because I don't think they should do it.
I don't think they should do it either. I agree with you, Mike. What do you think they trade up to 3 and take somebody?
I'm not ruling anything out. It's possible.
Yeah, but would you? The question is, would you do it?
Make a pick. Who do you think they should take? They trade up to 3.
I'm not trading up to 3. I'm not. Again, if they
have to take a quarterback at 3,
it would have to be Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, Jackson. Who do you think?
I mean, if they're at 3, I mean, you take Mac Jones.
Yeah, Jackson's opinion has completely flip-flopped. Completely flip-flopped.
I know.
I'm going with Trey Lance. The upside is there. He would fit perfect in that offense.
I just don't know if you take Trey Lance.
The offense is kind of similar to that North Dakota State offense. The Panthers are going to run the ball a lot. They're gonna run the play action, and I think Trey Lance will work good in that offense. I really do.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I think Mac Jones is just more accurate. I think that he
more accurate, but like you said, and I keep saying it, because I'm trying to make this clear to you guys. Teddy Bridgewater is a quarterback that's not going to kill you with his arm. He's accurate. He's not going to stretch the ball downfield. They have that. It's not working.
No, I disagree. Mac Jones is absolutely better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Did you not let me? You didn't let me finish my
Go
statement.
ahead.
I said Mac Jones is an upgrade from Teddy Bridgewater, but I think Trey Lance, when he's fully capable, his skill sets is going to be better for that offense than a quarterback like Mac Jones and Teddy Bridgewater who get rid of the ball quick and stick to the short game. I think a guy like Trey Lance who can open it up with his feet and throw the ball well downfield fits better in this Panthers offense than Mac Jones and Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think Trey Lance just comes in and be an instant
quarterback.
So you think that Trey Lance can go in right away, be the starter, and win this team games?
With this, listen, I don't think this team's ready to win games.
I think they're ready.
They're not ready. Well, listen, they have a lot of talent, so I mean, if they mature quickly, they can. But this team's not going to beat Tampa Bay. You guys keep forgetting Tampa Bay is in this division.
Yes.
They are not going to go through the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If they will probably get swept by them. And if this team gets in the wild card round, they're going to get beat by them in the playoffs. This team will not go through Tampa Bay.
Real fast, I want to get to a comment real fast. Corey Spitz and Matt will not be good. And I want you, while Mike continues here, to tell me why. And I'll get back to you because we all did our scouting analysis, and I'll tell you what I think. But go ahead, comment your comment. Let me know what you think. And tell me who you think's better, Corey. Let me know who you think's better in this draft. I did a extensive research. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I think this Panthers team is extremely, extremely talented. And that would be the perfect system to put a quarterback in that maybe doesn't have all the experience in the world, but has the talent. The talent is there with Trey Lance. I don't think anybody can deny that. He's got the arm. He can move. He's played in a pro-style offense. He can hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, and he's got weapons all over the field. I think this would be the best system for him to grow in.
But I don't think this team is. They can't grow. They're there, Mike. This team needs to win now.
Yeah, but Teddy Bridgewater's not going to win now.
No, he's not. No, you're right. He's not.
Going to win now.
Mac Jones will win now.
But define. Are you talking about win 7 to 9 games? Or are you talking about win?
In general, Mike. Trey Lance is not. Like you're saying, he's going to develop well. He's going to grow. Absolutely, I agree. He will. The thing is that they are ready to go now. Robbie Anderson's not getting younger. DJ Moore's going to want his money soon. Brian Burns real fast is going to need his money soon. Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be like 28, 29 years old when Trey Lance needs his second deal. Guess what? Christian McCaffrey, not a lot of running backs last until 29 years old, real fast. You go to the defensive side of the ball, Dante Jackson, he's going to want to get paid soon. Jeremy Chinnon, 3 years from now, he's going to want a payday. Derek Brown's going to want a payday. All these guys, his whole defense is going to want a payday in 3 years.
It's not going to take him that long, Nick. It's not going to take Trey Lance 6 years to get ready. He's going to jump in this offense. Maybe it takes them a year, and then they're ready to go. This defense is young. The Panthers really aren't paying anybody. They're paying Christian McCaffrey, and Teddy Bridgewater might be the second highest player in their payroll.
Real fast, Corey, he said Matt was okay, but he was playing torch, tight window, wasn't something he had to do. Don't know exactly what that one is. You got to explain that a little bit better, okay? Tell me what you like. Do you not like his arm strength? Do you not like the zip? Do you not like his mobility? Do you not like his anticipation? Do you not like him throwing the ball in tight windows, maybe?
Best right there is his anticipation.
His pocket awareness. Tell me what you don't like. I studied all of it. You didn't go back and watch my scouting analysis.
One guy I would like to see improve his anticipation is Trevor Lawrence. That is one guy I would like to see improve his anticipation a little bit. Didn't need to do it a lot in Clemson. A lot of snap the ball, first read thing.
I agree.
Mac Jones needed anticipation. Trey Lance needed anticipation in the pro-style type offense.
I'm gonna continue to ring this up. I know who I compare Trey Lance to a lot. It's same guy. Let's rewind a little bit. It reminds me of the same hype that Drew Lock was kind of getting. 2019.
Yeah, but they're nothing like each other.
Good arm.
Nothing like each other.
This was the same stuff we were hearing about the guy.
No way, shape, or form. They're not even close to the same quarterback. Drew Lock didn't have the running capability that Trey Lance had.
That's all that he doesn't have.
You can make arguments like that all day long, but they're two completely different players. They play in a completely different scheme. They're completely different players. I don't even think you can compare it to it.
So let me put it this way. You had Drew Lock ranked high. Do you have...
I had Drew Lock ranked high.
Do you have Trey Lance higher than Drew Lock?
Yes.
Okay. That's I need to know that. I don't know what you had. I mean, Drew Lock. Go ahead.
Comparing the two? You mean comparing the two, right?
Yes.
Like between the two, who ranked higher? Yeah, Trey Lance would be ranked higher than Drew Lock.
Corey.
That wasn't that good. Say it again.
No. Sorry, I was gonna throw back to the comments. Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh no, I'm saying if I had the two right now, if I was starting a list with just those two and then adding guys from there, I would put Trey Lance immediately over Drew Lock.
That's what I want to know. Okay. Corey Smith, you said you don't trust him. He consistently hit the tight window throws, and Alabama, his receivers were wide open all the time. Here's what I want you to do, Corey Smith. Who is Mac Jones? Who do you have in front of Mac Jones? Let me know, and I'll talk to you about that. Because,
but then again, he's not right. Because I saw Mac Jones, he didn't make a lot of tight window throws, but he didn't really. He made a lot of good timing throws. Mac Jones threw guys open a decent amount just from timing, like on a curl route, a comeback route, the ball would be there. So, Mac Jones did a good job with his anticipation, and that's huge in the NFL. You see guys like Tom Brady.
Phillip Rivers.
Tom Brady. But guys like Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers have phenomenal. Drew Brees, phenomenal anticipation. That's why he can get away with not having as strong of an arm as like Trevor Lawrence. But his anticipation is what is going to make him in the NFL.
Telling you right now, Corey, I watched his pro day today. I watched a little bit of it. I saw the guy rip one downfield, 63 yards. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about everyone again? There's velocity, which I think that I rank his velocity very high as well.
Find me a quarterback in the NFL that can't throw the ball 60 yards.
What's that? How many yards?
If find me a quarterback in the NFL that physically cannot throw the ball 63 yards, you're going to have a hard time.
No, they should, but here's my question to you. Everyone says he has a weak arm. That's about average arm strength. So why are we saying Mac Jones has a weak arm?
Because he doesn't do it. He doesn't throw well consistently. There were times I watched him. I watched some of his underthrew receivers. That's where that comes from. And we say weak. Not me, myself, but us analysts say weak compared to other guys because a guy like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson have talent. And I think that's immediately why you think he has a weak arm. But in reality, guy's arm's not that weak.
I'll be honest with you. I have not seen Trevor Lawrence throw the ball over 63 yards yet. So he's right
Yeah,
with Matt Jones. I haven't watched his pro day yet. I got to watch his pro day. But I'm pretty sure the deep ball I saw him throw was only 63 as
listen,
well.
I'm not going to sit there and watch. You can tell by watching somebody, regardless if you throw the ball 70 yards, 63 yards.
Timeout, Mike, timeout. Jackson, I hear so much background. I don't know what the hell it is. Mike, do you hear that?
I don't know. Should I just like step out for a minute?
Yeah, maybe step out, readjust, do something. I hear like breathing and like squeaking. Mike, do you hear that too, or is it just me?
No, yeah, he's been like loud all night. I don't understand. But what I was saying is, you can tell. Like, you might look at a guy and say, yeah, he just threw that 63 yards, but you can tell if they can throw it much further. There probably hasn't been a lot of times at Clemson that Trevor Lawrence had to throw it further than the 63 yards. But I will be willing to bet money on it that if we took him and Mac Jones out, put him at the 1 yard line, Trevor Lawrence throws a deeper ball than Mac Jones.
Yeah, but he had a pro day to show that too, and I didn't see him do it. I gotta watch the whole pro day.
Like, he didn't have to do it, but
yeah, but pro days are for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand. Trevor Lawrence was performing for one guy, and I bet you most of his throws, the requests came right from Urban Meyer. He was throwing what Urban Meyer wanted to see. So, I mean,
all right, real
Urban
fast.
Meyer may not said, because that doesn't matter. I mean, Josh Allen did it to raise his stock a little bit, but I mean, you don't really have to go out there and throw a ball 90 yards, because how often are you going to need to do that? Like I keep saying.
Mike, I don't want to give away your rankings yet, but so Corey Smith says he has Lawrence, Wilson, and Lance higher than Mac. Do you agree with those three being higher than Mac?
What did he say?
Lawrence, Wilson, and Lance. Do you agree that Lance is higher than Mac?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let me just rebut here because you guys both agree. Corey, here's my question to you, okay? And I know what you're saying. You're saying all the stuff. You said the tight windows, but that's been the only argument so far. And I've seen Matt Jones make a lot of throws in tight windows. My question to you,
how are you looking at this? Are you looking at this like right now or for long term?
Well, that's what I see. I always ask you guys the same thing, but you guys always just tell me just rank them. So I don't really know what that means. But ultimately,
things aren't officially out yet, so I'm not.
You're right. What I'm saying is to you is, Corey, I scouted both of them. There's nothing. I don't know.
Trey Lance can just do more than.
He's more mobile, absolutely. I mean, I got Lance's mobility higher. You can go back and watch my scouting report. But throwing the football, I got it leaning towards Jones. Awareness, I got it definitely going towards Jones. I just don't know. Running the ball, absolutely. It's Lance. But throwing the football, I still lean towards Jones. Jones is, in my opinion, comparing the two, he is a better. I feel like they throw with the same velocity. They both got the exact same for how far they can throw downfield. I watched all the film on both of them. They have the same exact max distance on their throws. I feel like Matt Jones has very similar pocket awareness. I feel like Matt Jones has very similar pocket mobility.
I don't have the same max distance. I think Trey Lance can throw the ball.
I've not seen it. We can see people saying
that's the point. We're never going to see it. Like there's never going to be a time where they're just like, all right, man, I want every single quarterback to stand at the 10-yard line and throw the ball as far as you can.
Josh Allen's done it. Trevor Lawrence
done it because that's what rose his stock. Mahomes didn't do it before the draft.
If you ask Greg, they knew he had he did it in games.
You can just tell. You can look at the guys. If you throw the 40-yard ball, you can look at the arm and see if he's got a live arm or not.
I don't know. Look. I'm just telling you, I watched all the film I saw. I wrote down all their max distance throws, and then I went back and watched some of their I've only watched a few pro days, but I have not seen Trey Lance throw the ball over 63 yards. I saw Matt Jones stay in his pro day, throw the ball 63 yards. You go accuracy. Matt Jones is more accurate. You go to who throws with better touch. I feel like Matt Jones is a hair bit better with his touch. You go throw on the run. I do lean towards Lance there. Anticipation. I definitely go to Matt Jones. Decision making. I go with Matt Jones. I saw Trey Lance throw some questionable balls. Even though they didn't get picked off, they were questionable. Tight window, I have them ranked at the same. And last but not least, my final grading scales are two more. Mental adjustments, I feel like him and Matt Jones are identical. I give them both a B-. And at the mobility ranking, I did lean definitely towards Trey Lance for more mobile. Overall, my top prospect, I gave Trey Lance a 72 overall, and I gave Matt Jones a 74 overall. I got Matt Jones higher as a higher prospect. I do.
I mean, it's close. I
And,
mean,
and no, and Corey, I agree with you. I do have Lance's potential. Look, again, here's
see,
my scales.
you got to make your mind up because I don't remember the Josh Allen. I don't remember your original rankings. I know you keep saying you had Josh Allen at 1.
I did.
But I don't remember. I don't really remember at the time. But you got to because you can't go say Lance has more potential and then 3 years from now say you had him over Mac Jones.
No, he's not. He's not over Matt Jones because I don't. That's where I have my rankings. There's what they have. I feel like Matt Jones, his ceiling's here, but his floor is here. So he's gonna always be good, but he can only reach right here. He can't really fall much lower than this. Lance, his ceiling's here, his floor's down here. And I honestly think he'll only ever really be around here. I don't see him reaching here. He can, with all his traits, yeah, he can. I just don't see it happening. So my ranking,
he can.
So my ranking, and again, this is all before the draft. Does he have better potential? Yes, but all this stuff will go into fruition by what team he goes to, how they use him. All that's out of our hands. All we can say is where we rank the prospect and where they should go. If you put Matt Jones on Carolina, I feel like they win more games right now than you do if you put Trey Lance there. That's my argument. I feel like you can't wait if you're in a situation like Carolina because everyone on that team is going to need a payday very soon.
Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. This Carolina Panthers team, a lot of their starters are only second-year guys.
You're right, but they only have 2 years left, right?
Pay them. But that's if they pan out. They're not all going to pan out. They might look good now, but who knows if they're going to pan out down the line.
You're right. They might not.
Draft you can't really if the Panthers think Trey Lance is their guy, they're going to take Trey Lance.
You're right, and I will not be upset if they do that. I think it's stupid. But if that's truly their guy and they want to go for him, go all for it. I'll just rate the pick a D-.
A coaching staff, you said a B- or a
D-.
I don't agree with that at all. But I think their coaching staff is good enough to help Trey Lance right away.
Because you gotta understand, it reminds me of the Trubisky situation, where you trade all this stuff for that.
Well, but see, that's Trubisky. You can't even Trubisky play like 10 games. It's similar situations, but Mitch Trubisky wasn't the physical freak that Trey Lance is.
Trubisky was. I'm sorry, everyone's knocking Trubisky now, but coming out of college, everyone wants to turn the page on Trubisky now, but during the draft, people were high on Trubisky. I don't care. Everyone in the comments and shit on him now.
Oh yeah, but I'm telling you, he wasn't the talent that Trey Lance is. Trey Lance is more talented.
You're right, but I also haven't seen the same concerns that you say about Trubisky are the same concerns I say about Lance. It's all the same. He hasn't done it. Are you willing to punch the ticket in the top 10 for a quarterback that's played one season?
Mitch Trubisky, he played more games than I thought, but he didn't really get a lot of playing time until his junior year.
Yeah, but I can guarantee he threw the ball more than 300 times throughout his career in college.
Yeah, he threw it 5-something.
Total, 5-something.
Yeah, he threw it, but the 1 year as a starter, he threw it 447 times.
And how were the other years, all the other years combined?
He threw it like 40-something.
40,
and then his year 70.
So right around a little over 500. I mean, to me...
Well, the first 2 years, you can't even count it. I look at the junior year.
I look at total throws. And
if you look at the first year, he didn't do anything with his throws. He threw the ball 78 times, but he threw 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
It's just still more film that these guys can want. It scares me. I would not take a quarterback in the top 10 that threw the ball 300 times. Unless something absolutely shocked me and I said, this guy's doing something that nobody else I've ever seen. If he put on film what Justin Herbert put on film, then I would say, yeah, he's worth it. But at 300 throws, I did not see anything close to that. And that's why I'm not going to give this guy the pass and say he's a top 10 pick. I just can't do it. Anything else in the comments section? Anything else by you guys in the comments? Say anything. I like Lance potential over Mac and don't trust his zip. Look, watch film, Corey. Watch film. Everyone knocks this guy. I'm telling you, he has a lot more zip than everyone's saying he does. Watch him. Watch him. He throws with great intent. Look at Phillip Rivers. Let me ask you this. Did Phillip Rivers have great zip? Did he have a great arm for downfield? Could he really stretch it downfield? No. But he threw a great anticipation.
We've seen the last few years. But
what's that?
I said younger Phillip had a lot better arm than what we've been
You're
seeing.
right, absolutely. But I mean, him compared to Matt Jones, I think Matt. Everyone underrates Corey. Watch if you have not yet watched film on just type in Matt Jones, and you guys are saying Zip. Just watch for Zip. One whole entire film study. Just watch a Zip and let me know what you think in one of the videos. Comment underneath my scouting analysis video. That's what I want you to do.
Like in the grand scheme of things, they're probably all close. Like at that point, you're just nitpicking. But
you are.
I'm taking, like, if I look at a guy, like, if I look at Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence I feel more comfortable with him zipping a ball in a tight window than Mac Jones. He throws the ball harder than Mac Jones.
You're right. I got Trevor Lawrence and Wilson above them, and then there's a jump. And now it's what quarterback do you want? And I don't feel, just to me, a team that wants a quarterback that can sit behind somebody, like you said, maybe the Panthers, not the Panthers, maybe the Patriots. A team like that, a team that has Cam right now, that's a great landing spot for Lance. Or even the later first round, if there's a team, I can't really think, like if the Packers didn't draft Love last year, Lance would be a great spot for there. I just don't see him coming in year one and being a guy that can go in and win a bunch of games. He shouldn't go in the top 10. He's not ready to go top 10.
Mac Jones is not going to go. Like, I'd be extremely shocked if the Panthers happen to take Mac Jones. I still don't think they're a playoff team with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the division.
I feel like that puts them a lot closer, and I feel like, and maybe not year one, but in year two, I think they will be there.
Here anyway.
What's that?
I said I think it's going to take a year anyway, so that's why I say you go with the guy that's got more upside.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good argument, and guys, I can't wait to continue this. You guys, if you guys are arguing with us, or I'll watch Bama. I live here. All right, then, that's your take. That's your take. Look, Corey, again, I want you to please do this. What's that?
I said I agree with him in this. I agree with him that Trey Lance has more zip on the ball. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson have more zip on the ball, but that doesn't concern me because his what's the word I'm looking for? He's better at other things. His anticipation is better than guys like Trey Lance has decent anticipation because he plays in a pro style offense, but Mac Jones' anticipation is better than Trey Lance's anticipation. Right now, it's better than Trevor Lawrence's anticipation. So I mean, I think they kind of that in that sense they cancel each other out.
Yeah. Corey, I want you to do this, man. Please, two things: subscribe to the channel. Go watch my scouting analysis. You're gonna see Jackson's scouting analysis, but Jackson's not here right now, so I want you to go and watch mine. Watch my take on Matt Jones since I'm talking to you right now. Then if you want, you can go watch Jackson's take on Matt Jones as well. Watch my take on Matt Jones. Watch my take on Trey Lance. You can watch the whole video if you want. There's a little tiny lengths that you didn't, not lengths, but what is that called again? The timestamps that you can click to watch whoever you want to watch about. You can watch all of them. I got my grading scale. You can watch my track record. In the very beginning of the video, you don't just click. It'll literally say niche track record. You click the link. It will show you my thing since 2018. Show you all my rankings since then. You'll see from 2019, 2020. You'll see 2021. It shows you the 2020 to 2021 according to my grading scale that I use. You know, look at my grading scale. Maybe you nitpick my grading scale and how I grade these guys. I can tell you this. I watched countless hours of all these guys. When I watched Trey Lance, it just, again, he has better upside. It's just that the guy doesn't have enough film to show me. If he did what he showed me over and over and over again on multiple films, if you watch film on Trey Lance, I was not as impressed as I thought I would be. Does he show flashes? Yes, but he also shows some inaccuracies. When we watched Herbert, they may have said they saw inaccuracies, but did we see inaccuracies? And it was a no. You watch Trey Lance, you'll see missed throws over and over again.
I saw Herbert missed throws, but I didn't think it was. I don't think that's as big of a deal as people make it out to be, because you're missing throws. It could be a miscommunication. It's college guys. When you get to the NFL, you're playing with pro receivers, pro players, so you're gonna miss less throws unless you're truly just throwing the ball terrible. You're going to miss less throws when you get to the next level.